don't know why no one wants to try anymore. But back in my day, though, people used to try real hard. Now they don't really try.
I think a big reason that they don't try is because they have no incentive. There's no incentive to try. There's no value in trying. Getting better at League. I mean, I'm gonna probably close the commentary talking about this, but I think getting better in League is like it's a double-edged sword, really. Because on one end, yeah, you're better at League, but on the other end, it's like you're better at League. So now here's your reward. Your reward is the following. You have now gotten better at League. You think to yourself, oh, that means you're good. No, not really. Everyone still thinks they're better than you. Even if you could speedrun 99% of players' ELO, everybody still will argue with you in every single match until the end of time. And if you want to play at your actual ELO, you'll spend 15 minutes to 30 minutes in queues dodging. That's what you'll get. That's your reward. What do I want to play for that commentary this morning? I mean, honestly, you guys know me. I keep my champ pool small. This isn't a damn solo Renekton only. No, Mike is cool. Like I'm not even really hating on Mike. It's just not for me. I can't. I also don't dabble. If you see me learning something, I spam it till I master it. A solo Renekton only. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, it's always a trade-off being a content creator. It's like, okay, what type of person do you want to be? This is why initially when I got into streaming, and this is good. This is a good little intro to this video anyways. Initially when I got into streaming, I used to hate on so many content creators. Like I used to hate on CivHD a lot. I hated his shtick. I still don't personally like his shtick, but I hated it when I started. But now I understand it better. I understand it and I respect some elements of it. I respect the content creator. Let's put it that way. I've actually turned from hating the content creator to respecting the content creator and hating the fans that watch it. Does that make sense? Which, I don't know, in terms of my own popularity and reach and clout, that might be worse. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, initially when I watched CivHD is this video of him, like, juking people with LeBlanc. And it's like, I would watch that video, and I remember when I was just kind of getting into League content, and I was streaming more, and I was making videos more. Initially, I was just like, it wasn't like I just blindly hated content creators. But I would watch stuff like CivHD juking. It was like playing LeBlanc, and he's like juking like silver and gold players. And back then, silver and gold players are like iron players now, and that's just a fact of life. You know, it's just players have gotten a lot better. CivHD was good enough to be at least like diamond. And I could tell that he was gaming it. You know what I mean? I could tell that he was like gaming it and just like basically, I mean, right now I'm loading into a Smurf game. To be fair, I'm duoing with a subscriber / supporter, and I'm climbing with subs and supporters. What, you know, makes the game a little bit harder. But back then it was like, oh, this is the dude that's diamond and he's just stomping noobs, and the way that the video is painted was just like, look how good I am at LeBlanc, right? That was how it was painted. I mean, you can't pretend that that's not what he was doing. He's stomping noobs to make himself look good. And now it was like, now it's different, but back then I was like so offended by this. I was just like, you know, this guy isn't good. Like, why is everybody sharing this video? This guy is squashing noobs. I have people be like, oh, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. And I remember I would just be like, but it's not though. Because they're obviously really terrible. They're just so bad that they're gonna make this guy look good, right? By default. Like, that's just, they're so painfully bad. And again, back then, that was pretty bad. Like, they're just gonna make him look good automatically. And I would hate on these content creators. And I would hate on people like that. And nowadays, when someone smurfs, I don't even give a shit anymore. Because at this point, just in watching the space, I'm like, why wouldn't they? Now the game's quality's gotten a lot worse, and like, if you get good at League, your ability to carry is a lot worse, and so you're kind of incentivized in smurfing. Like, if I play a low elo game, there's a chance I lose this game, and I'll probably post it even if I lose it. But like, a lot of content creators aren't going to post stuff where they lose. That's just what it is. Swift Nuts is going through it right now, though. And it took me a while to realize, like, no, the content creators actually Like, content creators cool. It's the fans that are too dumb to realize that the content coming across their feed is actually garbage. But that's the truth. Like, I've never understood the fascination with that type of content. But I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle of people that put out videos constantly. Because until you're a content creator, you don't know how much of a pain in the ass that is to do. Staying relevant must be rough when there are hundreds who do nearly the same thing as you. It's really not. I don't think it's that hard to be... Truthfully, I don't think it's that hard to be... Well, it's obviously hard to be a streamer and content creator in the fact that, like... Or in the sense that I think you have to be standout enough at what you do. But I feel like once you're good at a game... the hard part's over. The hard part's over in that you are... All you have to do is show up now. All you have to do is just make stuff. Make content. Just make things. Get out of bed, wake your ass up, get your equipment set up, and fucking crank. And people will respect you. People will respect the hustle. People respect my shit-ass content because they know what I do and I'm passionate about what I do. And I think at the end of the day, even if I disagree with the style of content, so like we're using solar nectin only, right, as like a staple or like a comparison, or like Civ HD, right, it was another one that I was using as an example. I respect Mike a lot because he's putting in hours on his shit. I don't give a fuck about his content personally. I would never watch his videos personally, and it's not even to flame him. It's the same reason I just said that I didn't like Civ HD's content and this little rant going into this game. I respect the amount. I know what that takes. I know what it takes to put out a YouTube video every single day, even when you don't want to. Or to set it up so the YouTube... I don't do that. I don't want to do that. Right? So I can respect the effort that goes into that. My effort, for me personally, I get satisfaction from being good. So like what I say with my coaching stuff, I say that, if I'm not at least good enough to play in high elo, I will grind until I'm good enough to play in high elo before I release videos and coachings and stuff. It's because that's how I am. If I don't think I'm good, I can't lie. I can't. I just can't. It's in my DNA. I can't do it. If I don't think I'm good enough, I will work to be good enough because that's just how my brain works. Now, theoretically, I could shift. It's like a recipe. I could shift and I could stream. Like right now I stream, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day, depending on how much or what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes more if I'm just feeling it, right? I could change the amount of effort that I put in or to my content delivery, and I could be like, you know what? I don't really give a fuck. I'm just gonna park in like Diamond 4. I don't care, right? I could Tobias Faded, right? And I could just derank myself to Diamond 4 and focus more on being chattier in the videos, right? Trying to make more jokes throughout all the videos. And basically I wouldn't play very well as a result. And my competitive drive would send me through. I couldn't do it, but I understand that there are people that can do that. They can separate it. I can't do that. I can't just do something all day, get shit on half the time, and haha, laugh it off. I just can't. I'll want to break stuff because I don't like being bad at things I do all day. But there's some people that are okay with being bad at what they do all day, and they basically take all that effort. So instead of giving a shit about the wins, the losses, the gameplay itself, and they just take the times that they do well and they focus more on delivering content to like YouTube or, like I said, making funny clips or just stuff like that. It's basically, once you're at a point where you're memorable at a video game, then it's effort in whichever fields you want to put effort in. I think it's a proven fact by now that being an entertainer, if you can stomach it and cranking out content, even if you're not that good, that is definitely the more profitable way to go. Like if you're looking at streaming purely from a monetary perspective, which I think some guys are, if you want to just fucking max out the amount of money you make, you could just nose to the grindstone, just crank average content and like just that's all you do, and you could just pump it and just make money that way. This is gonna sound bad, but like when I started, I planned to make a living on it. a lot of people. I did a tweet on my on NEACE tweets where I said, I opened my DMs and I said basically anybody that wants to ask me about streaming, just go ahead and ask. Like, ask me anything about streaming. Like, I'll try to help you if it's feasible or whatever. So when I got done with college, Full Sail University, which was for design, I had all this debt. I had about $100,000 in debt. I went back home, which was stupid. I went back home to Maine, got some work here or there, got fired from some jobs here or there, and then realized like, oh, I have all this debt, and if I just try to work a corporate job or whatever, I'm not gonna make a dent in this for years. For years and years and years. This is not the life I want to lead. So I just went into the military, and then once I was in Afghanistan and my debt was starting to look like it was about paid off, I was like, okay, I'm going to try streaming. So I just saved up enough money so that I could go into it full time. I had no intention of doing streaming and failing. There was none of this, like when people ask me about streaming, you don't get $100,000 paid off with the GI Bill, but you get, or it's called loan repayment program, but you get quite a bit paid off. Basically, yeah, like I saved up the money when I was in, and when I was getting out, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this full time. There was no like, what if I fail type of thing. There was none of this like, you know, what if this goes wrong? It was just like, if I don't make it, then okay, I can do other things. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to streaming, put it in their mind that like, I don't know, they don't believe in themselves from the get-go. Like, if you don't believe in yourself in this business, you're not gonna make it at all. You're not gonna make it at all. I'm just being honest. Like, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell, dude. You don't have a chance. If you're sitting there being like, I want to be a streamer, but I don't know if I can do it, then you won't. You just fucking won't do it. I think. Fun fact: I did decent in the army. I tried to go officer, but the line to go into OCS was like massive, so I just went in as enlisted because I needed work. And then I tried to switch over to officer, and no one would sign my packet when I first got in, which, you know, that's the recruiter's lying to you, right? No one would help me go over to officer side, even though I had perfect PT. Like, you know, I was a good soldier. Like, I didn't have any problems. But when I finally got offered to do officer, I had already mentally planned on doing streaming. So like, I was in Afghanistan, I got recommended from officer for both my brigade sergeant major, command sergeant major, and my brigade commander. Both of them individually asked me if I would do OCS, which was incredibly flattering. And if you've ever been in the military, any of my military guys, these are guys with like 20 years that are saying that you would be good at it. So it's very flattering for sure. I feel like this matchup is, I mean, it's a counter. Like, Gangplank counters you, but I feel like you can beat it so long as you're not just stupidly taking bad trades. This guy's beating my ass, though. You're gonna get bullied. I mean, it's a counter pick because he can cleanse your ult. But realistically, as long as you get tabbies, it should be okay. I've lost to this matchup, so I know that you can win. Just tricky. That ward might be dumb. I don't think you ever get dove by Hecarim. Maybe if it's the least or something. Yeah, I'm not gonna flash after that. That'd be silly. I'll let the Vi do it. And now I have my flash and my ignite. So there's no need to rush the play. Gangplank has to TP. Like, if he doesn't TP, he's trolling. He might actually be walking, which is really bad wave management. You do not want to walk in this spot. You're just missing too much here, and as Gangplank, you can't afford to be behind in that much XP. Or just walk it in. That's worth. You're zoning him off a farm. I wish I could be more helpful. I saw the Hecarim collapse, but I couldn't really do anything about it. I was trying to bait for Gangplank initially. This guy is incredibly, incredibly out of line. Yeah, I just walked this in. He's just dead regardless of what he does. I mean, he's confident. I respect Gangplank's being confident, but like, he's just, I don't know. Can't afford to ever take a tower shot as Gangplank. Also, if you're gonna play this aggro as Gangplank, why wouldn't you just go corrupting pot, you know? It's just a bad move. So we'll go and get tabbies. Lane's pretty much over for him now. I've been going tankier builds with Mordekaiser a lot already. But I think in this case, I think it would be overkill to go Bramble. I do it sometimes, but like in the case of Gangplank, it actually might not be that bad versus their comp, but I think I'd rather go Zhonya's here. I don't think Gangplank's gonna smack on me very often. At this point, like I said, once you get tabbies, you're pretty much golden. If he wants to do these little cheeky trades, you'll eventually just win. Oh, I didn't W fast enough! Damn it. I was trying to time it out so that I got the maximum amount of damage off. That was really badly played by me. Hecarim ignited me. I think he red smited me. Yeah, he had to have. Dude, red smite's so OP, bro. That's the best ability in the game. I was trying to time it out so that I got the most value out of the shield and the damage. And I was also going to try to pull back at the last second to flash away. I shouldn't lose too much for that. Because of this new weird home guards thing. You can int and not get punished for it. You can int and not really lose anything for it, which is nice. Hecarim loses drag because of that. Bot lane's inting. Talon's doing well. Talon's doing well into Aurelia, which doesn't really happen very often. Talon's just one of those champions that when he shows up in solo queue, like, they have win rates on sites, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't really buy those win rates. On like u.gg or whatever. Because I'm sitting here like, I don't really believe that Talon isn't winning like 80% of the time. Because they always seem to get fed in solo queue for whatever reason. I'm gonna push out again. I don't really care if Hecarim comes up here again. I'm just waiting until my ult's up before I do it. We can just do this. Yeah, I'm gonna fold on this. Gangplank's kind of playing like a bitch, and I think a fight's about to break out, and they won't really expect the rotation at all. Yeah. The fight is just breaking out. I don't want to push this wave too quickly. I want to go back to top. You don't want to tunnel on these roams too hard, because you'll wind up losing too much. The Gangplank gets a plate, but we don't really care about that. Notice that I don't ever really just ult him for no reason. If he does something dumb, like overplays a trade or something, I might, but since he can W it, it's just a bad move. I'm trying to push quickly here so that I can back. I really just want to back here. I don't think he stays under tower. Even if he does, I'm going to let the back go through. We're in a counter matchup and it's top lane. I'm starting to hate top lane a lot. Like, I'm starting to hate it because I feel like, especially I tweeted about this because of the ADC buff, first of all. Now AD carries, if you do get fed up top or winning top, AD carries just are stronger than usual when they're ahead. Like, normally I could shut them down pretty easily, but right now, like, they're healthier than they were before, which makes it worse. I'll wait till level 9. I see Hecarim down there, so I should be okay. You gotta pressure this matchup before he gets to Triforce. You have to. Have to do it. Thinking about if I can kill him or not. Wow, he got owned. Ignite a Kaiser, bro. And that's why I do it. Because top lane is AIDS. And people will just turtle up on you for an hour if you don't go aggro into them. Okay. I don't know. I guess he thought, well, I guess that jungler forgot that he needs red smite in order to do stuff like that. You know, making decisions like wait for smite, wait for ignite, wait for your ultimate. These are tough decisions that you have to make when you're playing jungle and you're literally farming camps the whole game and not interacting with anybody and not having to worry about anybody ever harassing you while you're trading. So I can understand why the average jungle player can't handle these complex decision-making processes that come with the role. I could see how he would fight me without anything available. Because I don't think he had a single thing there. He didn't have ignite. He didn't have red smite. He didn't have jack shit. Oh, I see. I don't have ult for another 13 seconds. Sweet. I fucked that up. It's a shame. Big shame. Alright, let's see. It was weird. I couldn't click on him. I normally use tilde too. Wow, he backed. I could have actually just stayed and took tower. I didn't think he would do that. I guess I should probably just stay topside for now. Until they win dragon, and then after dragon I can just rotate down to bottom and just start cruising. I really like this item. on Mordekaiser. Someone on stream recommended it to me. I don't know who it was. Then I saw one other guy use it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it, and it actually, it feels really good. You don't get anything. So what we're doing here is, since this wave is pushing to us anyways, we'll let these minions die, so we're essentially just denying these creeps, and then I'm gonna push. Can't deny every single creep, because that's just not sustainable. But with the tempo of the game, like, I think it was fine to do that. And then you can go Rylai's next item. Pretty solid. Dumbass. Hecarim's down bottom, so I stay. Yeah, I definitely felt like Gangplank was just getting a little too feisty. I mean, the whole point of this matchup really is to just not die. And I'm running Ignite, so I'm threatening extra kill pressure. And I'm holding my ult, so if Hecarim comes up here, he knows that he can die, you know? I hate to break it to you guys, I can lose to many champions in low elo. I can get dunked on by many champions. I do not think that I have ever been beaten by a legitimately low elo Gangplank on any Smurf account ever, which is like, I've been beaten by Garen's, I've been beaten by Darius's, I've been beaten by a lot of shit, Cannons, never Gangplank. Never. So we go down to bottom because there's nothing up top for us now. Okay, you guys got me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why they're all down there. I wasn't expecting that. I knew that ward was a bait, but I did not know it was that big of a bait, if that makes sense. So I knew that it was obvious that they were trying to set me up there, but I didn't care. But I'm gonna start caring more, because if my teammates aren't gonna actually like threaten Baron or make any sort of aggressive play while I'm getting 4-man to bottom, or 3-man to bottom, or was that a 4-man? That was a 4-man. Yeah, if they're not gonna do anything with a 4-man bottom, then I'm gonna have to adjust. Man, Talon is not really sure what to do mid-late game. He just keeps running into random pockets of the map and not really doing anything. I guess I'll just walk through their jungle and go to top. Yeah, I'm going to that. I agree. I agree with the Baron call. I don't know what Hecarim was doing. No idea what he was smoking there. Alright, Talon's inting. Yeah, this is definitely one of those players that's just like... Oh, he's gonna live though. That was a bad ult by me. Yeah, that was a lot messier than it needed to be. Also, if you notice, Arzea did nothing for a long time in that situation. He didn't hit the Baron, but he wouldn't actually commit to the fight. And then by the time he actually committed to the fight, it was like the fight was practically over already. Fight was done, so. Alright, let's clear these chickens real quick. Alright. Let's go get our Rylai's. Oh my god, we got all the... Wait, what is that? The gangplank was looking for me. Yeah, I think Leandries is the next good item here. This is pretty dumb. I mean, that's why I like Mordekaiser. He's one of those picks. He's even competitively played sometimes. He's a little binary though. Like, you got no mobility with him. Yeah, they're gonna surrender. You've got no mobility with him. So you're kind of just like the high. It's weird because Mordekaiser stomps so hard low elo if you understand like where to stand and where to move. But the higher up you go, the more you're kind of like, okay, he's OP, but like everyone knows how to kite and like work around his kit or whatever. Yeah, that was a bit of a stomp. At the end, you just walk over their team. Like what can they do? That's why I enjoy the champion a lot. Is that he basically creates scenarios where you can't gank him really. It's very tough to gank him. You're not supposed to gank him because of his ult. He scales really, really well. And he makes scenarios where if the enemy team is out of position at all, there's very little counterplay to it. It's just, you ult them. Like, even that Thresh at the end. Like, we just ult him. He waddles around in the ult. And it's like, oh yeah, you survive the ult, but he's dead positionally because he's already caught. And by then our team had to push. So all I have to do is just ult the Thresh. The other team's going to back off because they think he's dead. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about streaming and how, you know, there's definitely, if you don't believe in yourself with streaming, then like there's no way you make it in streaming. Because the truth of the matter is, all that shit that I talked about, like, all that shit in the past that I talked about somebody like CivHD or even like we were talking about Solar Renekton only, although I don't really talk shit about him. And I the same thing, I used to talk shit about Nightblue, but like the more that I did this job, the more that I became convinced that anybody that's doing what Solar Renekton only is doing, is Nightblue is doing, like me personally, I could not do what they do. But I could totally understand like why they would do that. Do you know what I mean? Like I get it. But like when I watch some of these YouTubers, I'm just like, man, I used to hate on them, but now I don't know anymore. I feel like I'm just the angry old man who's out of touch.